guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a thrift flip video. So I had a huge pile of t-shirts that I either got from a thrift store or my brother's old t-shirts, or just ones that I've bought and just don't fit that well. So today I've grabbed all of those. I have 8 t-shirts, 1 hoodie, and I also have a polo shirt that I'm going to DIY today. Some of these are pretty simple. I also have used a sewing machine for all of them, but you do not have to use a sewing machine. If you don't want to, you could easily do these with glue. I also use an overlocker for some of them, and you can just use a normal sewing machine for those parts as well. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. I don't have a before for this t-shirt, but it just fit very awkwardly, so I decided to go ahead and crop it. I tried it on and marked with a texter where I wanted the t-shirt to end, and then just used my ruler to make sure that the line was straight. I don't have a before for this one either, but it was a really long t-shirt dress that I thought would look much better as a crop top. I used the bottom of the pattern to make sure that I cut my line straight. With the leftover fabric, I'm going to make a matching headband. You then just want to go ahead and cut it out. After that, we fold in half and sew down the open edge. You then just want to feed it through, so I put a safety pin on the end and push it through, and you can just slowly pull it all through until it comes the right way out like this. You can then just tie it up behind your head, and then you have a cute top with a matching headband. Okay, for this one I'm going to turn this old jacket that I never wore into a cute crop top. So first off, I just cut the bottom of it off, cutting through the zipper as well. I then went ahead and unpicked the pockets off of the bottom so that we can reuse these on the top. After you've removed the pockets, we're just going to pin them back on to the top of the jumper. Then just going to go ahead and sew these down where I've pointed to here. Also then just sew across the very bottom so that obviously nothing falls out of your pockets, and cut the excess off. Next we're going to mark off the points where I'm going to put the safety pins. So obviously you just evenly space it for however many safety pins you have. So I had 3, so I just evenly spaced those out and put them to go from one side of the zipper to the other. You can leave the zipper head on if you want, but I decided to remove it so I had this cute open looking detail. Next I have this men's shirt. I liked how baggy it was, but I didn't like the length, so I just cut it to make it a little bit more flattering. So for this one I'm going to turn it into a cute little off the shoulder top. So first of all I just went ahead and cropped it. I then put it on and marked with a piece of chalk where I wanted the open shoulder to be. I would suggest not to cut it as wide as I did. I then decided to roll the sleeves and pinned those in place too. Next I just cleaned my line up a little bit and cut it out without cutting off the collar. Next I just tacked down where I folded up my sleeves so I don't have to roll them up every time, and we're done. So I bought this Tommy Hilfiger shirt from a vintage website thinking it'd be quite baggy, and it really wasn't. I found it quite unflattering. So we're going to do an elastic waist on it. So I've marked where I want the top to end with a pin, and then I've just measured out with the elastic how much extra I'm going to need to add on the bottom to fit the elastic in, and then a little bit more for seam allowance. Then just go ahead and cut all of the excess off. Next, you just want to measure a piece of elastic for around your waist, so making sure that it sits around flat, also isn't too tight. Then you want to go around and mark the casing for the elastic. So if your elastic is like 2 centimeters wide, you want to mark about 2.5 centimeters, so you have enough room to sew and then fit the elastic in afterwards. So I've just gone around, marked that, and then pinned it all down. Next thing you do is take it to a sewing machine and sew it down with your 0.5 seam allowance. You want to make sure that you leave a small opening, as I'll show you here. This is so that you can fit the elastic through. To feed my elastic through, I put a safety pin on the end of it and close it up. Then you can push that through the casing until it pops out the other end. Once you've got the elastic through, you just want to grab both ends and sew them together flat so that your t-shirt is nice and secure. Lastly, you just want to go ahead and sew up the little gap that we've left. You'll want to pull it tight since the elastic is in there and it ruches it up a bit. So as I've done here, you can just pull it out and sew it up. And there we go, now it has a super cute elastic waist, which makes the shirt so much more flattering. Here we have one of my brother's old shirts, and I actually got inspiration for this one from a shirt that I saw online where they had really cute small sleeves on it. So we're just going to go through and do the exact same thing as we did on the shirt before for the elastic waist. So you just want to crop it, make sure you've measured out the room for your elastic, and you just go ahead and sew that up the exact same as the last one. Next, I want to make these sleeves quite short. So I'd already cut the other one off, so I used it to measure, but I just marked about 2 centimeters for the sleeve length and then 2 centimeters for the fold back, and then you just want to cut that off. I then rolled the sleeve up and pinned it in place. I then folded the shirt over to make sure that both sleeves were the same length. I had to adjust one of them a little bit. I then went ahead and sewed that one on the sewing machine just at the top and at the bottom of the sleeve to make sure they don't unroll. I really like how the super short sleeves on this one turned out, and I think it's really cute and flattering. For this one I just took an old pajama t-shirt and cropped it the same as the rest of them. I found these butterfly patches on eBay, which I can link below, and they were super cheap, so I thought it would make a cute little t-shirt DIY. So I just ironed those onto the front of this shirt in a cute little colour combo. I then sewed around the outside of them. I recommend doing this by hand, not on the sewing machine, because it was extremely difficult, but I just did this to make sure they didn't fall off. And there we go. I think this one is super cute. I also made one in a different colour combo for my sister, which I'll show you here. yeah, this was super inexpensive and they look just as cute as the really expensive ones that you find on Brandy or Urban Outfitters. Okay, now the last top I have for you is a super old Adidas one that I've honestly never worn. I've gone ahead and taken a one shoulder top that I have that fits me well and I traced around it. I then just went around and added a little bit of length and added 1 centimeter seam allowance around all of it. I would recommend making sure that the scoop on the top of the shirt isn't too harsh because mine did come down and was a little bit baggy underneath my armpit. I then went ahead and used an overlocker to sew up those seams. You could totally use a normal sewing machine or, like I said at the start of the video, some stitch glue for that as well. You don't need to use an overlocker. I also decided not to hem the edges, but you totally could if you want. I just like the look of them raw. There we go, the last DIY t-shirt. That's it for today's video. Let me know if you guys do any of these. Leave a comment below which one was your favourite and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys. Why do I say so before everything?